Picture this. You're a farmer, and you're out in the middle of a massive field. The sun's just coming up, and harvest season is finally here. You climb into the cab of your cutting-edge machine. The engine? Perfect. The transmission? Absolutely flawless. You turn the key, fully expecting to get right to work. But nothing happens.
Now, this isn't just a minor, everyday inconvenience. We're talking about an investment of upwards of $300,000. Imagine that. You've dropped over $250,000 on a factory-fresh machine packed with the newest, shiniest tech. It's got fuel. Literally nothing is physically broken, yet it just completely refuses to work right when you need it the absolute most.
It literally will not move. And here's the crazy twist. The culprit isn't a snapped belt or a blown gasket. Nope, it's a software glitch. Just one single line of bad code or a faulty digital sensor has completely paralyzed the machine. Out in the fields, the clock is ticking, and every single hour of delay is actively draining money right out of your livelihood. And this exact scenario, it's driving a massive wedge straight through the farming community.
Section 1. When tractors were simple.
Okay, let's dive into this timeline. For decades, the relationship between a farmer and their machine was pretty straightforward, right? If something broke, you grabbed a wrench, you got under the hood, and you fixed it. But then, as we rolled into the early 2000s, farming entered a totally new era with GPS systems and slick touchscreens. Fast forward to today, and wow, we've leaped all the way into satellite connectivity and AI. Tractors have rapidly evolved from straightforward mechanical workhorses into these highly complex technological masterpieces.
Section 2. The hidden cost of complexity.
Now, at first glance, modern tractors are undeniably incredible. I mean, they maximize yield, they save a ton of time, but there's a serious trade-off here, and it's what we call fragility through complexity. With traditional mechanics, a leaking hose or a starter problem, sure, it's a pain, but it's physically fixable right there in the barn. But with modern tech, a tiny, finicky sensor or a software communication fault, literally something that costs a few bucks to manufacture, can trigger a total shutdown. It completely bricks a $300,000 asset right there in the dirt.
So this leads me to a question I really want you to seriously ponder for a second. If your entire year's income, everything, depended on getting a crop out of the ground before a massive storm hit, which would you choose? A brand new $300,000 machine packed with state-of-the-art tech, or a 30-year-old tractor that, hey, might not be quite as efficient, but is incredibly easy to repair yourself? Keep that in mind because actual farmers are making a choice that might really surprise you.
Section 3. The 30-year-old solution.
Across America right now, there's a literal analog rebellion taking place. Thousands of farmers are actively seeking out and actually paying a premium for equipment that is 20 to 30 years old, and this brilliantly illustrates their priorities. They are choosing absolute predictability, mechanical simplicity, a complete lack of giant touchscreens, and ultimate farmer autonomy. Avoiding uncertainty when weather is rapidly changing is absolutely paramount to a farmer's livelihood. They know exactly how that older machine works, what to expect, and most importantly, how to fix it themselves so they can survive the harvest.
Section 4. The Great Tractor Debate.
Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is how it highlights the very valid arguments dividing the agricultural world today. And just to be clear, we aren't taking sides here, we're just looking at the facts. Supporters of modern tractors rightly point out that today's machines offer way higher crop yields and maximum fuel efficiency. And honestly, those are innovations that are absolutely vital for feeding a growing global population. But on the flip side, critics argue that efficiency means literally nothing if a machine is too complex to maintain. They place a much higher value on extreme reliability, total owner control, and predictable daily operations.
When we step back, we realize this isn't just about tractors at all. It represents a much broader technological struggle defined by this concept, the complexity limit. This is the hypothetical point where adding new, shiny technological conveniences is actually outweighed by the loss of operational simplicity and control. I mean, we see this in our smartphones, we see it in modern cars, and we are seeing it vividly in farm equipment. So the question isn't whether technology is good. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, how much complexity is too much complexity?
Section 5. The Future of Farming.
Let's move forward and see how this builds, because we need to figure out where that complexity limit is, and fast. The pace of innovation is only accelerating. We are rapidly approaching a future filled with fully autonomous tractors, AI-powered farming making real-time decisions, and extensive remote monitoring systems. We're moving toward a paradigm of minimal human involvement. Seriously, in just a few short years, the incredibly complex machines that farmers are struggling with today, they might look completely primitive.
Which brings us to the core truth of this entire explainer. The most important feature isn't always technology. Sometimes it's trust. Farmers are holding on to older models not because they're stubborn or stuck in the past, and definitely not because they can't afford new ones. It's because when your livelihood, your family's income, and honestly the global food supply depend on a machine functioning under immense pressure, newer is just not always better. Above all else, you need a machine you can completely trust.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. As technology continues to just race forward in every single aspect of our lives, where do you draw the line of complexity? If everything was on the line for you, would you choose the exciting promises of the automated future, or would you stick with proven, controllable reliability? It's a fascinating debate, and as the next generation of machinery rolls out, it's one that is going to change the world of farming forever.